You're gonna pay for what you did to my cousin. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? For the Vatos Loco. Okay, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Can you guys tell I love that movie? What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Dr.J, and welcome back to another episode of Truth Friday. My eyes are low, but it's not the devil's lettuce, I promise. I don't. You guys keep thinking that I do that. I don't do that. So come on in, guys. How you been? You guys all right? You guys doing good? That's great. How your mama doing, man? How you mom? That's good. That's great. That's great. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. All right, so this week you guys dropped a lot of questions. I've read through some of them, and I'm like, man, these are actually some pretty good questions, man. I'm glad that I gave myself, as much time as I did to like really sit down and try to think of like the answer to some of these. Anyway, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. But ladies and gentlemen, before this video starts, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me some sort of like interaction because it is now confirmed. Your boy has been shadow banned. I have proof. I don't know what I did to YouTube. I don't know what I did. But apparently it was real bad. Apparently YouTube is pretty upset with me. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit the notification thing too. Not really like that's gonna help much, but it's something. Let's get into it. The first question comes from King Turbo 2K11. He's got 5 questions here. I'm gonna try to rapid fire these joints though. This is actually pretty cool. Okay, see, that's way better now. I can see everything now. It's like having Sharingan active. Okay, first question is, besides Chavez, Slovakia, and Brandy, who would you mostly look forward to collaborating with? That's an easy question, to be honest with you. I'm open to collabing with almost anybody. If you are just as determined to do this YouTube as I am, I don't mind, man. Let's get it. Especially if like our comedy or our humor mixes together pretty well, bro, let's get it. Yeah, I'm with it. Second question is, what's your favorite horror game that scared the heck out of you but enjoys playing? So it never scared me, but it's like my favorite horror game to play. Dead by Daylight and The Evil Dead, the game. However, Evil Dead the game, I can't play it anymore, man. There's only so much that I could tolerate. They're no longer like maintaining and moderating the servers. So it's just hackers on hackers on hackers and meta builds and all this. I ain't got time for it. I mainly main as the demon. There's no winning. So I kind of just had to give that game up. Especially after I got cheesed one time super hard. And I was just like, yeah, that's it, bro. That's the last time. You'll never get me again. Right now, Dead by Daylight, it never scared me, but those are like my 2 favorite horror games, yeah. Third question, what's the best and worst food you've had in Las Vegas? I don't want to say because I don't know if they're gonna like get upset. Like I'm walking on eggshells here. I don't know if they're gonna like sue me for defamation or what. I'll say this. They're not consistently bad, but the worst plate that I've ever had came from Denny's. I do like Denny's. They're cool. I'll go back to Denny's. But I have once had the worst plate that I will forever remember from Denny's. As far as the best food, that's a tough one. I love sushi. My favorite sushi spot, if you know Vegas pretty well, there's a sushi spot on Lake Mead and I want to say like Tenaya. It's called Yummy's. That's my favorite. There are other great sushi spots. I'm not saying that's the best one. It's just my favorite. Back in the day, Mario's West Side Market, they used to have really good fried catfish and like Southern foods. The quality went downhill. The fish is not good anymore. It used to be good. It's not anymore. There also was this place that was literally like right across the street from where I grew up called Sonny's back in the day. Their food was pretty good. Hamburger Hut used to be fire. So yeah, that's a couple of the places. It's hard for me to narrow it down to just one for different types of food. If we're talking like Mexican food or whatnot. I hope that answered your question. I'm sorry. When would we watch you and your son playing horror games together on screen? Bro, I can bust that out ASAP. Pause. Hold on. That sounds wrong. We can do that anytime, honestly, if that's what you guys want. If you guys want gaming too, bro, I'm down for that. Like, I'm down for whatever's. I'll say that. As long as it's what you guys want, I don't mind. You ask and I will deliver. 5, what's your favorite color and why? Black and green are my favorite colors. I really like purple though. But yeah, I would say my go-to, black. If not black, green. And if not those two, it'll definitely be purple. Thank you, King Turbo. That was a good question, or a good series of questions. We have DAT8592. They said, Truth Friday, what's going on, Dr. J? Glad to see you're back and doing well. Also glad to hear that the clinic has reopened. I'm 28 years old and I've been a fan of yours since high school. Yo, Thanks, man. That's Jesus. I'm sorry. I be getting choked up, but like, this actually really means a lot to me, man. Like, it really means a lot to me that you guys have been fucking with me this long and that you guys really appreciate my content, bro. That actually means a lot to me. I'm not gonna cry. You mentioned a few times that you used to do deliveries pretty much all over the country and visited some strange places. My question is, what's the craziest thing that's happened to you while you were out on the road? Like, two of them, I don't know if it's okay to talk about here on YouTube. The one that stands out to me the most right now that I can talk about, I was actually on my way back to Las Vegas from Mesquite, which is like an hour away. And I swear to you, as I was passing through the desert, and it was nighttime too. It had to be like 1 or 2 in the morning. So it was like pitch black out. It was in the middle of the desert. And I don't know why, but for some reason I look up and I see like this thing. The best I can describe it, it looked like a plastic bag, right? But it was square. It was like box shaped. It was a cube, but it was like 3 of them together. It kind of like zipped, right? It made like very exact movements. So it would be here, and then it would zip right here, and zip down, and zip over here, and then it just zoomed off. That's a UFO. I swear that's a UFO, but I never really told anybody because I didn't want to look crazy. I swear to you guys, I'm not making this up. I put this on everything I love. I put this on everything I love. I swear to you, that's what I saw. I don't know what I was looking at. It had like little lights on it, but it was like very faint. It was like blink and you'll miss it. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything because I don't want the government looking for me. What really happened is I was going a few days with very little sleep, and that's it. Okay? That's it. That's what I saw. That's what happened. It wasn't really a UFO. That's what it was. But I would say that's probably the craziest thing I've seen on the road that I can talk about. And even that, I'm like, I don't know if I can talk about that. The strike is pending. All right, so the next question comes from the Omega 500. Truth Friday, what's your favorite album of all time for each music genre you listen to, and what's your favorite album of those? So this was the tough one that I had to like really think about all week, right? So my music taste is very eclectic. I listen to a little bit of everything, and I'm a huge music head. I've put together a mental list for different categories. Hip hop, which is probably going to be like my first choice. As far as my favorite album, and this took me so long and it was so hard to come up with, because I love Kendrick, I love Freddie Gibbs, all these different artists, right? But I would say the album that I have had on repeat the most, it's a rapper named Trapo, and it's this album Oil Change. That's probably gonna be my favorite album as far as hip hop is concerned. No disrespect to any of the other artists. Kendrick, you know I love you, brother, and all of your albums to me really are gonna be honorable mentions as far as hip hop goes. It's definitely gonna be Kendrick, definitely gonna be like even Freddie Gibbs, Dom Kennedy. I listen to like a lot of different, but if I had to pick one album that I had on repeat the most, one album that I feel really did not get its flowers and deserves flowers, Trapo, Oil Change. It feels like the spirit of hip hop trying to come back. And this is relatively a new album. I think it came out like 2017. Neo Soul, as far as Neo Soul was concerned, that was where I had a little bit of difficulty, just like with hip hop. I would say that my most played Neo Soul album from beginning to end was Cleo by Charlotte Dos Santos. Love Charlotte Dos Santos, love that album. We also have Jumanji, that band. They have an album called Mange. I really like that album. However, I mean, a good amount of it would be considered Neo Soul, but then there's a little bit of it that would be more so considered like, it's like a cross between Neo Soul and hip hop. So definitely check out those 2 albums. I love Cleo Soul. She's amazing. I would have to say, as far as an album, I don't think I've listened to her full album, but as far as a song from Cleo Soul, A Sweeter Blue, that's my favorite from her. I love that song. But as far as a full album, I would have to say Cleo by Charlotte Dos Santos. I'm not saying that it's the all-time greatest. I'm picking this one because this one has definitely been on repeat for me for years. Rock, to me, I feel like rock peaked in the early 2000s and it hasn't been the same since. There's nothing wrong with that. I think its greatest years are behind it. Somewhat similar to hip hop, a lot of these newer artists I feel like they don't even know the 4 elements of hip hop, or well, I guess technically KRS One said there was 5 now. It just got watered down. It's not the same. As far as my favorite album that has been on repeat the most in my life, it's a toss-up between a band called Hum, H-U-M, like if you hum a song. It's a toss-up between their album, I think it was called You'd Prefer an Astronaut, or Isle of the Cheetah. One of those 2 albums. I think probably Isle of the Cheetah would probably be the one that I played the most. Or another band called Injected. They had an album, I think it was like their first album. It was called Burn It Black. Love that album. I swear to you, just like with Trapo's album, just like with Monge, I feel like I never had to skip a song. Very rarely did I ever be like, I'm tired of this song, I'm gonna skip it. A lot of times I would just throw that album on and do what I'm doing. Jazz was more difficult. As far as just one single album, jazz, I couldn't do it. I had artists that I loved and singles that I liked from, way deep in the crates. But I would say as far as jazz goes, I love Horace Silver. I love Charles Mingus, all of his work. He was great. I like Freddie Hubbard. Freddie Hubbard is great too. I think I actually used a sample of his music. Of course, you've got Coltrane, you got Charlie Parker, all of those. So it's very hard for me to pick just one, and especially one album. I don't know, man. Even Boney James, I love Boney James. I really haven't heard too many forms of jazz that I don't like. So as far as like, I would consider neo soul to be like a mix between R&B, hip hop, and jazz, which those are kind of like the base of that area of genres anyways. They all just go hand in hand, and especially with, some of these artists that I'm picking. We got metal too. Yeah, that's right. Surprise, ladies and gentlemen. I listen to everything. I said I listen to everything. I listen to everything. The only thing I don't listen to is country and not too much techno. And even now I'm starting to kind of get into like techno and not really dubstep, but like, I guess old school techno or electronic music, I guess. As far as metal goes, so you've got Slayer, you got Metallica, you got AC/DC, Black Sabbath, and you even got when Ozzy went off on his own. To me, I like Meshuggah. They're pretty heavy though. A lot of this is like heavy metal to like metal. I don't know, even like progressive metal, whatever you want to call it. We have some honorable mentions. All of those artists: Slipknot, Born of Osiris, that's another one of my favorite bands from back in the day, but I haven't listened to like their last 2 or 3 albums. I don't know, I haven't been in a metal mood in a couple years. Mastodon, Lamb of God, you name it, I've heard it. Love Mastodon though. If I had to just pick one that's been on repeat the most as of recently, the last that I've listened to, it would have been Mastodon. And I think they did a song with Lamb of God recently, and I actually really like that one. But yeah, I would have to say Mastodon's was it Hush and Grim. I did like that album. So if I had to pick one that's been on repeat the most lately, like the last time I really was listening to heavy metal like that, or just metal in general, it was Mastodon, and that was the album, and it was on repeat. It was great. I hope that answered the question. That was a long answer. I know that was a long answer. I can talk music all day. That's probably going to eat up the majority of this Truth Friday, so I'm sorry. I'm going to cut myself here. But if you guys have any musical suggestions or whatever, put them down below, man. So our next question comes from Vanquise. That's my boy. How you been, bro? Hashtag Truth Friday. You said you worked at Amazon. Were your managers also dickheads? I worked at 3 Amazons in total, right? One of them, I guess I'm not even really going to count that because I was only there for like 2 months and I transferred to another. But the first Amazon I worked at here in Vegas, it was the return center. It was gross. It was the worst. And when I tell you I have horror stories for days about that place, there were things returned that I was like, dog, you could have just kept this. Okay? Who returns a strap-on? Who returns that? I didn't even know we sell that on Amazon. I guess we sell everything on Amazon. Who returns a used strap-on? Please. Help me. The manager there was okay. My PA was cool, but she wasn't really present at that one. And then I transferred to a different Amazon. That one was okay, but our manager was kind of a dickhead. He had his favorites though. Unfortunately, I was one of his favorites, but I could tell he was a dickhead to other people because I had seen it. But I feel bad because I'm like, I was one of his favorites. So he was never a dickhead to me, but I could see like at some point you're gonna be. But my PAs were great. I loved them. They were cool. The last Amazon I worked at was actually the best one I've ever worked at. Like honestly, I loved that job. That job was great. I loved my crew, my manager, my PA, everybody, like the whole crew. It was a smaller Amazon. It was a MOD. The items were made there. It was books. I worked at the book Amazon out here. It was a small one, so I knew everybody in the building, and at least to me, there was very little drama. There was drama. There's always going to be drama, but the drama never really became a thing until like towards the end of me working there, and that's like a whole crazy story on its own. I do remember that. But everybody was super cool, man. I loved everybody that I worked with. I really don't have anything bad to say about anybody that I worked with. And I actually ended up meeting one of my new best friends from there. Just shout out to my boy Steve. But yeah, man, Amazon was great. I loved it this last time. If you guys have horror stories about Amazon, let me know in the comment section down below. I want to hear, because I've heard some things and I've seen some things as far as experiencing it firsthand, like really towards the end, that was it. But I have seen a lot of these things firsthand. All right, so on to the next question. We have a question from Lefty001, Truth Friday. What's your favorite game of all time? Love your vids, man. Keep it up. Been a fan since 2015. 2015. That's well over 10 years, bro. I appreciate it. That's love. The fact that I took time off from YouTube like 4 times, bro. And it'd be like years in between. And then come back and be like, I'm just coming back to check on y'all, and then leave. But this time, like, I'm back. Like, I'm back. Like, I'm not leaving.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
That's amazing, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you all, really. All of you that see this, like 12 of you that see these videos. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate it. My favorite game of all time, Black Ops 2 Zombies. Those were like the glory days of gaming for me. However, we have Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 and Resident Evil 5. I used to play those games with my brother all the time, and especially Resident Evil 5. That will always have a sweet spot in my heart because those were like the best summers ever, right? So over the summer, me and my brother out of school, he's like a little bit young. He's like 5.5 years younger than me, but this was around the time that he actually became cool. And so I was like, oh man, this is dope. You know, like I got a partner to play Resident Evil with. And when I tell you every summer, bro, we just ran that game's pockets. Me and my brother just running through that game every summer, bro. Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, Resident Evil 5. What else were we playing? Like UFC. I had like a UFC game, but that was like back on Dreamcast. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I had a Sega Dreamcast too. I think I still have it. Sonic, just a whole bunch of games that have so much nostalgic meaning to me. Spider-Man, all these different games. Me and my brother used to play these all the time. So I would have to say, if I have to pick one game, it's probably gonna be Resident Evil 5, simply because of the nostalgia and the fact that like it means that much to me, that me and my brother used to play it all the time, man. Those were good times. Shouts out to you, bro. Love you. All right, and our next and last question we have coming from Sunset Liquid 8534. That's actually kind of dope. Sunset Liquid. I don't know what that means, but that actually sounds dope. That's kind of a dope name. Hashtag Truth Friday. What are some fun facts about yourself that us fans might not know about? Oh, okay, we're ending it on a good note. I'm left-handed, and that's been a problem my whole life. Okay, everything is right-handed. It's hard being left-handed in a right-handed world. And don't tell me go to that store that they sell only left-handed things, because there's like 2 of them on the West Coast in general. All right, I found one in LA, and the prices in there were ridiculous. For a notebook, it was like $3 for just like a simple spiral edge college rule notebook. You can get that for like 30 cents at Walmart, man. Back to school prices. Why is this $3 here? Oh, because it's left-handed? Fuck out of here. I occasionally suffer from dyslexia. It's not severe. It's not like the words are jumbled around, but sometimes like it takes me a second. Like I'll look at something, I'll be like, oh, that's a P. Why is it? Oh no, that's a Q. My fault. That's backwards. Ever since 2nd grade, I have only written in cursive because the schools that I was at, for some reason, teacher come running in the classroom like it was some sort of emergency, like they were after her or something. And she goes, listen, stop what you're doing right now. I've got these books from the office. We have to learn how to write in cursive, okay? And it's important because you'll never write in print ever again in your life. So little like 7-8-year-old me was like, teacher, why? And she was like, because that's the writing that adults write in. So literally since 3rd grade, only wrote in cursive, and I can't write in print now. So that also ties into the dyslexia. So if I'm writing something in print, a P might look like a 9, which might also look like a Q. Sometimes my capital L's are the other way. I'm 33 at the time of recording this. Why am I still doing this to remember what a capital L? It's the same in cursive. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, sometimes dyslexia, and then also not writing in print. I can't write in print. It literally looks like 2nd grade my handwriting, because that's where it stopped developing, was 2nd grade. My son has no idea what I write. It looks like Arabic to him. I'm learning different languages. Obviously Spanish was the first that I had to try to learn. Growing up in Cali and Vegas here on the West Coast, there's a lot of Spanish, so I wanted to learn Spanish. A lot of my friends have taught me, and even my ex taught me a lot of Spanish. So shouts out to all of you guys. I am currently learning a different dialect, or I'm trying to. A good friend of mine, she's Dominican. She has been teaching me a little bit of their dialect of Spanish, and it's different. It's different, man. I look dumb, so I'm not even gonna try to speak that on here because I want to be respectful to the language and the culture. I'm not even gonna try. All right. And I'm not going to put you guys through that. Okay, so last fun fact. I'm able to chug a water bottle in approximately 3 to 5 seconds, somewhere around there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do it. You just got to open up and just relax your mouth muscles, man. And just let it come into your mouth. But you got to swallow it as it's coming into your mouth. So you got to be a real throat goat. I sincerely hope I never go to prison. That's going to do it for us here at Dr. J and the Women's Truth Friday. Thank you guys for coming in. I love you guys. Please be good to each other. If you guys have any questions that you want on the next Truth Friday, drop it in the comment section down below with the hashtag of Truth Friday. I realized, what was it, like last week, I think? I somehow had my comment section turned off too. So for a second. So I don't know what's going on with that. Anyways, love you guys. Please be good to each other. The comment section will be on. I'm going to monitor that as I'm uploading this. Love you guys. Out.